Hello everybody, this is the Rex Emilius coming at you with episode 3. Today's the day we start building. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's going to be going on with it. I got it all built up in creative mode, so we're going to get going on that as soon as possible. I just want to show you what I did between episodes. You can see one thing right here. Got some pumpkins going. So I did that and a bunch of other stuff. So here's a little montage of what we had going between episodes, so you're all caught up. Enjoy! So the first thing that I did after the last episode is I wanted to find some diamonds. We wanted to get a little bit going, just so we'd have enough for a diamond pickaxe when we need one, and just to get the season and the series going. So I was fortunate enough, I was mining for about 5 minutes, and I found these. I was pretty proud of myself seeing them behind the iron like that. They were tucked away. So when you're mining up these diamonds down on Y11, the middle coordinate there at 11, there's a lot of lava down there. So you don't want to just willy-nilly get these things up. There might be lava right below them. So I like to dig around them a little bit just to make sure that there's no lava underneath them before you start digging them up. So I felt comfortable at this point. There was nothing down there, so I just started digging them up. The next thing I wanted to do was get some spruce saplings. As I told you earlier, I like to use spruce wood for the generic wood stuff like sticks and chests and things like that. So the nice thing about the spruce is that you can put 4 saplings in a row here. After they grow, we'll come back here in just a second. See there, it grew, and it grows podzol first of all, and you can use a silk touch item to get the podzol. As you can see there, I did not use silk touch, so it just turned it into dirt. So we'll have to get a silk touch tool in order to get the podzol. I do have a use for that in the build, but here you can see what I do for farming the spruce tree. The nice part is that you can just staircase up the tree on its own like this and get all the way to the top, and we'll speed up the footage here. Yep, there it goes. So once you get to the top, then you can just kind of sit in the middle and chop your way down, and you're ready to go. So here we are at the top. Chop your way down. There's never any branches or sideways wood or anything like that in the spruce tree. So that's what I like to use because it's so easy to farm. And then on your way down, if you don't have enough saplings, you can just start punching the leaves and hopefully get some saplings. At least try to get 4 more so you can get another tree like this. After the spruce, I started gathering more random resources. Here I am getting some clay. When you don't use silk touch on this, it just gives you those clay balls, which is fine for now. After the clay, I went and got some sand for glass. Then I needed some animal products, we'll say. Here's a sheep. I needed some wool, so I started killing sheep. It's also good for getting some food for the series as well. When I was doing that, I found some sweet berries, so I snagged up some of those. Those will fit in nice with the build we have planned. Cows are great for leather and also for food. We need leather for books for our enchanting table. And then I got smart. I was killing some sheep, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to use a lot of dye. So if you dye the sheep the color you need and then shear it, then you only need to use 1 dye, and you just keep shearing the same sheep. So after that, I started making some different products that we need. I got some dyes together. As you can see, I combined a couple different dyes from the flowers that we got. I needed some stained glass, and so I got some purple stained glass there. I also needed some black, so I kind of got those going. Also some concrete for our build coming up, so I made those there. So then I wanted to get some black terracotta going. And the way you do that with the clay balls, you got to make them back into the clay block. So I did that first, and then you put them in the furnace, and that makes a terracotta block. So I sped up the footage here a little bit, make it quicker. Boom, 6 terracotta there. And I wanted to make them black terracotta for the build, so then you just combine that terracotta with a black ink sac. So that's what I did there. Then finally, the end was near of the gathering of the resources. Pumpkins. These took forever. So I took advantage and did some fishing while I was doing this, but as you can see, I got another pumpkin seed there. And I planted it over to the side over here. And this time I used a little bone meal earlier to try to get that pumpkin growing faster. Unfortunately, you can't get the actual pumpkin to grow with bone meal, but you can get the stem to grow faster. So I did that. And I found out recently that, bone meal is the key to this game. It helps a ton. So hopefully we'll get a bone meal farm going. So here I am fishing with waiting for the pumpkins to grow. So that's how I got so much stuff fishing. All right, so now that you've seen all that, I just wanted to kind of go through chests here. I did a lot of fishing, a lot of enchanting books here. We'll get into that later. I'm intentionally not using the diamonds that we mined up, and I am intentionally not putting these on anything yet because I want to do that with you. So we're going to do this first building with just the iron tools that we've got. So there's that chest. And then we got this chest down here full of stuff. A lot of this is from fishing, like nautilus shells. These bones are mostly from fishing. Look at all these pufferfish. So I'd probably get more into the fishing as well once we build a fishing shack or something like that. So yeah. So the building site is right over here for the new build. So I've got it kind of flattened out the way I want it. Just for this, I don't want to make a super flat world here. We're not going to bring everything down, but needed to flatten this area here. And the torches are the boundaries of where the building is going to be. So here's the materials we have gathered for the building. So it all should be right here. Of course, I'm probably missing something, but we'll see how it goes. One thing you did miss is as I was gathering materials, we had a nice creeper explosion right here. So as you can see, I kind of filled it in with cobblestone down there. It didn't have enough dirt to fill it back in, so I just put some cobblestone down there. But yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is get going with the redstone. So I'll meet you once we get started with that. All right, everybody, let's get started with this redstone. Of course, once I hit the record button, the rain starts coming down. I don't mind the rain too much, so hopefully you guys don't either, and we'll just get going with some redstone in the rain. So we'll explain some of this redstone as we get going. But there's a couple components. This is going to be a really simple little redstone thing. I just wanted some blinking lights. So it's going to be pretty simple. The first thing I want to do is make some redstone torches. So let's get some of this wood here. And torches for the redstone are like the regular torches, only they have redstone on the end. But they act completely different. So let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. We'll start with 12. Oh, we're going to need more than that because of we got some repeaters we need to use. So we'll do that. So we have plenty of redstone torches. And this is kind of the layout of what I want to do for the redstone torches. It'll make sense in just a little bit here. So I'm going to put them down where I want them. And we'll be right back. And I'll show you how they work. And if I can set one, there we go. How they work and what we're going to do with them and all that once we come back. So I'll be right back. All right, so as you can see, creeper explosion. I saw him lurking over there. Thankfully, I got him out of the build area here, but right now I'm just digging out the area for the floor, and we're going to dig it down just a little bit so we have room for the redstone components that we need. So redstone is a system within Minecraft that kind of works like electrical systems, and it kind of works like mechanical systems as well. There's mechanical components and electrical components. Like I said, this is going to be a super easy one, and it's going to be using mostly, in fact, exclusively the electrical components to this stuff. So basically, the way redstone torches work is they're lit when there's nothing going on, when there's no power source around them whatsoever or anything like that. So what we're going to do is I want to make these blink. So first, to turn a redstone torch off, you need to have a power source into the block that the red torch is on. So this is redstone dust, so this kind of acts like the wires. And so I'll put a redstone torch here. So this one will turn on, it'll activate this wire, and the power will go into that one. So that one will turn off, like that. So I want blinking, like I said. So I need a device that keeps the redstone torches blinking without me obviously sitting there and putting red torches down and picking them up and stuff. So that's going to be the first objective, is we're going to make, they call those a clock, a redstone clock, and we'll make one of those. And again, I'll be right back after I'm done digging this out, and go from there. Okay, so we're back here. I made a redstone clock here, so there's my blinking signal, as you can see. These are, so what's happening here, these are called repeaters. There's two things that repeaters do. They kind of, if you're familiar with electrical systems, they act like a diode. So power can go this way, but it can't go back into the repeater. So it works as a diode in that way. And it also works as a delay system. So if I want to slow the clock down, so you can see how fast it's blinking there, I can bring this back. It delays the signal through there again. Sometimes it gets messed up, like, so that's not too bad there. And then let's see if we can slow it down even more with that delay there. So I want to keep it quasi-fast. I'm going to put more repeaters in here so I can get them. We're going to have to sleep here. So I'll be, oh boy, here, let's take this guy out. I just don't want any creepers sneaking in here and taking us out. So yeah, I'll be sleeping. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our redstone clock. And we want to get this redstone torch blinking. We'll just make this one blink at the same speed as that one. I want to try to change them up, but this one we can do just that speed. So that's the one that'll do that. And you know, the inside torches all blinking at different speeds, and the outside torches blinking at different speeds will all be helpful with making it diverse and making it so, I mean, obviously if they're outside you can't see them, and if they're inside you can't see them with the outside. So we just need to randomize them outside and randomize them inside. You know, it's not a huge deal. I just wanted them randomized just a little bit. So what we'll do is now hook this one up. And this one, what we'll do is maybe a double. We got a little room over here. So maybe make it a double repeater system. So we'll do this and hook this up to both of these repeaters. So we can bring one back, and we got to put this redstone dust there. So now you can see how it's a lot quicker on and off than this one. So we can play around with the timings and stuff and just kind of make it the way we want it. But I kind of like that flicker like that. So let's go with that for this one. This one's outside, so let's just hook it up. Is that one blinking? Yep. This one's blinking. Good. And this one here, we can go for let's do a repeater right here and see if we can't get this blinking a little different than the other inside one over there. So that one there, you can see the timing is off just a little bit, which is good. So then I'm going to take this one. Then we have a little bit more room over here. So maybe what I'll do is a double repeater, and we'll use this double repeater for both this one and the one that's on the outside over there. So let's do that. Where should we got this? Like that. Hook them both up to the line, and then hook this up like that. So now that's on a different timing than this one, which is good. And we'll also hook this one up like that. So now the outside one is also on a timing. Oh, that one. Aha, redstone. Okay, so what happened there was once this makes a turn like that, it's not going to go straight into that block, so that torch is going to stay on. So you just got to finagle your redstone so it goes out one block like that, so it goes straight into the block and then come around like that. Like like this. There we go. Obviously not a redstone master here, but I can get it done usually with the simple stuff. So yeah, so I'll hook up the rest of them. We'll get them blinking kind of all at different times, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so here we are. We got all the redstone torches blinking, mostly at different times. That one's a quick one. As you can see, that one blinks a little slower. That's a quick one as well, but it's not at the same time as this one. That one's an outdoor one, though, so it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, as you can see, we got all the redstone torches blinking. So this is kind of the first step of this build. I have another system I have designed that I want to do with redstone before we get started. And I wanted to do this before we put the building in, so it's easier to see kind of what I'm doing. And a lot of these repeaters aren't necessary. They're just there to change the timings on the blinks. Just to make, I figured it'd be a little bit creepier if they were blinking at different times. And you know, kind of like the movies, you see a blinking light in a warehouse or whatever, and it's kind of creepy. So you'll see what I mean once the build gets going here a little bit more. But yeah, so the next system I want to build involves these note blocks. And I got a couple of them right here. I need 3 for this, and 3 iron blocks. So the way note blocks work is, you know what I'll do? I'm going to set this up, and then I'm going to show you how it works. I think that's going to be easiest, and this is a lot of fun. So I'll show you the system in just a little bit. I'm going to get started, make sure I have enough room right here to do what I want, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, so here's the system I set up. Down here, this is going to be the entrance to the building right over here. You'll see soon. This is the entrance. And the floor is going to be on this level. On top of the floor, we're going to have something called the pressure plate. And what this is a button, but we're going to have a pressure plate that when you walk over it, it activates the redstone signal. And just to simulate that so you can see what's going on, I put this button here. So pretend I'm walking in the door to my little build, and I walk over the pressure plate. I don't have to do anything else. Just walk on it. And then this is going to happen. Just a little kind of creepy little dun 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 type of sound. And so the way you do that is with these note blocks. These note blocks can do different sounds based on what block is underneath them. So this iron block is a xylophone type of sound. And you can tune them by right-clicking on this to get different notes. So this is obviously a super simple one. I put this repeater here so it goes straight into the block. I put this repeater here, and notice I use the delay this time so that it goes a little slower, dun dun dun, as opposed to just dun dun dun. So yeah, so you just right click them and you get a higher note. And soon it'll cycle around the whole spectrum of notes, and you can do what you want. There's incredible songs that people have made with these. I don't have that kind of skill, but they make songs with different chords. I don't know how familiar you are with music, but obviously you have three notes that are different playing at the same time. Well, that's a chord, so you can make chords and all sorts of stuff. Just amazing things. But this is the way I work is just with simplicity here, and so now every time we walk in, it'll be doo doo doo. So just a little extra something for the build to add a little life and character to my Halloween build. So that's the redstone for this building. Uh, Hopefully it works out pretty well. And I think it will. It looked pretty good in my creative world, and it was fun to walk through the door and get that sound. So, anyways, this is the redstone part, and I'll be right back with getting started on the building itself. So here we are. Time to get this building started. I grabbed a bunch of the stuff I needed right away. When I go to do a build, obviously I don't start with this redstone first. This was definitely something that I put in after the building was built, just to spruce it up a little bit. So the first thing I do is I kind of think of a shape that I want to do. Yeah, rectangle, huge, huge step in the tough direction on this one. That's for sure. Right. So I went with the triangle. The roof has some detail into it, and the whole building has a bunch of detail in it. So I'm not too concerned about this shape, but sometimes you're going to want to just, hey, I want to build a circle building. I want to build a square with a triangle, whatever. That's the way I start with and kind of go from there in my creative mode. So I also start with some of the blocks that I want to use as my palette. Those will change. So like this one, I started out with a palette that was a little different than this, and I had to reconfigure some stuff and change it up to make it something that I was enjoying. So the first thing I usually do is, okay, I want to make a rectangle and I want to make it this big. This is how big I want to make it for this build. So I marked it out with the torches. And actually, first block, wrong. That's actually purple concrete right there. So we'll put some of this down. Actually, I'll show you this real quick. A little sidetrack here, but the way I like to get regular concrete, you need to make this concrete powder, which is in the crafting table. And so I'll do a few of these. I don't want to craft all of this into concrete, but so I'll do maybe some of this like that, and then two more purples maybe. Because I like to use the powder as variation within the build, and you'll see what I mean here. But this is the way I like to do it. You can make this obviously just monster tall, but you need to put the concrete powder in water to make it concrete. So there, I do that. I got my bucket with the water in it, and now I'll take the powder. Now it's all concrete. So I'll start digging this up. And now all that concrete is in my inventory, separate from the powder. So first block there is actually supposed to be a purple concrete. So right there, like that. So that's the post. Here I have a doorway, like I said. And then on this side, it starts out with a terracotta. I got kind of a gradient thing going with this. So it starts with the black terracotta, and then it moves up to purple a little bit. And this one should be probably at least a couple of black terracotta there. Oop, I missed again. So there was that. Another terracotta right there. And then I have another beam in the back, which is 5 spaces between these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So that one's going to go there, and that's only going to be one. But yeah, and then back here, same thing. So now I have my outline for the building that I want to build. And I'm just going to fill this in for fun so it makes a little more sense here. Right, like that. And then I start designing what I want to do in between the posts. So these are kind of the posts of my building. And then I design what I want to do in between. So for this, I started out with, I wanted to start a kind of a gradient as well on this. So it's going to be mostly deep slate bricks style on the bottom, and then it's going to slowly move over to stone bricks towards the top. This is the short side. As you can see, the roof is going to go up a little bit on that side. That's why those are a little taller. But real quick, I'm going to show you the stone cutter is something I haven't talked about yet. Now, this is my favorite workstation, other than the crafting table and the furnace, obviously. It makes life so easy. So you take your type of stone that you want to cut, throw it in there. Now, I know I want a lot of these deep slate brick stairs. I think I want to stack, so I'll just shift click on that. So that's all the deep slate brick stairs. And I'll just start placing these down. And this is the doorway, so I don't need to do anything there. But I'll put some variation in this later. We'll just put this here like that. So this kind of goes around the base of the whole building. So I'm going to do that and sleep, and I'll be right back. Okay, to add some interest into this area, this is obviously just one type of block. I like to look at the different variations, just add some stuff in here and there just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So let's take this one out and we'll put a cobble in there. Now it's starting to look a little bit more deteriorated and it makes it more interesting. There's a lot of that in this build because of what it is. But so I'm going to make this all deteriorated right in here, just with a few blocks here and there. I don't have a whole lot of this deep slate left. But I'll start with that. And I'm going to also show you here something that you can do with these deep slate bricks is put them in here with some fuel. And those are going to make cracked deep slate bricks. So that's just a different variant that you can use to add interest to your builds, and it makes it a little bit more deteriorated, obviously. The stone ones, as we get higher, we can add in some mossy bricks like this, and we'll also have some of these cracked bricks as well. So like here, I'm going to start making the doorway. I'll put that there and add in just some of the regular ones like that. And I don't want to go too far here. We want to start varying it into the regular stone up there. So we'll play around with that when we get there, but that's kind of how you can see I get it a little deteriorated as well. So we'll be back when we're done with this kind of bottom part. Hello, everybody. This is me from the future. Right behind the camera here, the build is pretty much done. The basics of the build. But this is just taking too long. The episode's getting too long, so I'm going to cut it here. And we're going to continue the build in the next episode. I hope you all tune in. Bye-bye. Great. There's some rain.